Little House on the Prairie is often remembered as a warm and emotional portrayal of frontier family life, centered on the Ingalls family as they navigate hardship, moral challenges, and personal growth in Walnut Grove. Based on the books by Laura Ingalls Wilder, the television adaptation became a long-running cultural landmark, spanning 9 seasons and more than 200 episodes. While audiences connected with its heartfelt storytelling, few realized how many unnoticed production details, subtle continuity mistakes, and behind-the-scenes realities were woven into its fabric. The idea of a, quote, hidden blooper in the series is less about obvious mistakes like forgotten lines or visible crew members, and more about small inconsistencies that slip through editing unnoticed. These moments often come from filming under difficult conditions, rapid script changes, or long production schedules that stretched cast and crew to their limits. The show also stood out for its willingness to explore serious social issues such as poverty, blindness, addiction, racism, and family struggles, which was rare for television at the time. Yet behind this polished emotional storytelling, there existed a world of production challenges, personal struggles among cast members, and surprising real-life connections that shaped what viewers ultimately saw on screen. Understanding these hidden layers adds depth to the series and reveals how even the most carefully crafted television can contain small, unintentional imperfections that remain frozen in time within the final broadcast. Michael Landon's on-screen image and off-screen realities. Michael Landon, who portrayed Charles Ingalls, became the emotional center of Little House on the Prairie and one of the most recognizable faces in American television. His portrayal of a strong, compassionate father helped define the tone of the entire series, but his real life was far more complex than his wholesome character suggested. One widely overlooked detail involves his appearance, particularly his hair. Although audiences admired his thick chestnut locks, Landon began going gray in his 20s and regularly dyed his hair to maintain continuity on screen. The intense outdoor filming conditions at locations like Big Sky Ranch often caused his hair color to fade unevenly, which sometimes created subtle inconsistencies between scenes. These minor visual shifts occasionally made it into the final edits unnoticed. Beyond appearance, Landon carried immense responsibility on set because he was simultaneously the lead actor, director, producer, and frequent writer for episodes. This multitasking placed enormous pressure on him throughout production. Off-screen, he reportedly struggled with heavy smoking and alcohol consumption, habits that contrasted sharply with his moral on-screen persona. Cast members later recalled his constant cigarette use during breaks in filming. Despite these contradictions, Landon remained widely respected by colleagues who admired his creative vision, leadership, and ability to shape emotionally powerful storytelling that resonated deeply with audiences across generations. Complex family relationships and unexpected cast connections. One of the most surprising aspects of Little House on the Prairie lies in the real-life family connections between its cast members, many of which viewers were unaware of while watching the show. Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura Ingalls, was adopted shortly after birth by actor Paul Gilbert and actress Barbara Crane. Her on-screen brother Jonathan Gilbert, who portrayed Willie Olison, was also adopted by the same family, making them real-life siblings despite their frequent on-screen rivalry. This unusual dynamic added a hidden layer to their performances, as audiences saw fictional conflict while real family ties existed behind the scenes. Over time, however, reports suggested that Jonathan eventually stepped away from acting and distanced himself from public appearances related to the series. Another major family connection involved Sarah Gilbert, later known for her roles in Roseanne and The Big Bang Theory, who is Melissa Gilbert's half-sister. The show also famously featured twin sisters Lindsay and Sydney Greenbush, sharing the role of Carrie Ingalls, a casting choice that created confusion among viewers who believed Carrie was played by a single child actor. Additionally, Matthew and Patrick Labourteau, both adopted brothers, played Albert Ingalls and Andy Garvey respectively. These overlapping family relationships contributed to an unusually authentic sense of familiarity on screen, where emotional bonds often mirrored real-life connections among cast members in unexpected ways. Karen Grassel, Victor French, and the personal struggles behind the camera. Karen Grassel, who portrayed Caroline Ingalls, brought emotional grounding and warmth to the series as the moral and nurturing center of the Ingalls family. However, her real-life experiences during and after the show revealed significant personal challenges. Before joining the cast, she used the stage name Gabriel Tree, but Michael Landon encouraged her to use her real name, believing it would resonate more authentically with audiences. While the show achieved massive success, Grassel later revealed difficulties related to salary negotiations and feeling undervalued compared to the show's popularity. Beyond professional frustrations, she also struggled with alcoholism, a battle she later openly discussed in interviews and writings. Her honesty shed light on the hidden emotional burdens carried by several cast members. Victor French, who played Isaiah Edwards, also faced personal struggles with alcohol despite portraying a character known for similar issues. His real-life challenges added an unintended layer of realism to his performance. Grassel later reflected on how both Landon and French had their own battles, while she ultimately overcame her addiction in the late 1970s. These revelations highlighted the contrast between the show's wholesome public image and the more complicated personal lives of those involved in its production, reminding audiences that television characters often mask deeply human struggles behind the scenes. Harsh filming conditions at Big Sky Ranch and on-set challenges. Although Little House on the Prairie depicted a serene and idealized version of frontier life, filming at Big Sky Ranch in California was often physically grueling and uncomfortable for the cast and crew. The location frequently experienced extreme heat, with temperatures regularly exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit during summer shoots. Actors were required to wear heavy period costumes, including multiple layers of clothing, boots, and bonnets, which made working conditions even more exhausting. Many cast members suffered from dehydration or near fainting during long outdoor scenes. Alison Arngrim, who played Nellie Oleson, was particularly affected by the harsh environment. Her elaborate hairstyle required extensive maintenance, and in early seasons her real hair was styled using heated curling irons that caused discomfort and even scalp injuries. Later, a custom wig was introduced to reduce styling time, but it created new problems, as metal pins used to secure it often irritated her scalp and caused bleeding. Arngrim also endured physically demanding scenes, including stunts where safety measures occasionally failed or felt unreliable. One famous wheelchair scene involved real fear and physical strain during filming, even with safety ropes in place. These behind-the-scenes difficulties highlight how much physical endurance was required to create the show's polished final appearance, which often concealed the exhausting reality of production conditions. Recycled ideas, shared scripts, and production efficiency choices. Behind the emotional storytelling of Little House on the Prairie, production often relied on practical strategies that included reusing story ideas and drawing inspiration from Michael Landon's earlier work on Bonanza. Because Landon held multiple roles as actor, writer, and director, he frequently revisited familiar narrative structures and adapted them for the Prairie setting. Some episodes shared thematic similarities with earlier Western stories, with only minor adjustments in characters or context. This practice was partly driven by efficiency, as television production schedules were demanding and required rapid development of scripts. Reusing strong narrative frameworks allowed the team to maintain consistent output without sacrificing emotional depth. Viewers who watched both series closely sometimes recognized familiar story patterns or musical cues that carried over from one show to the other. Additionally, several actors appeared in both productions, reinforcing these connections. Mitch Vogel and other performers transitioned between the two series, further blending their creative worlds. These overlaps were not necessarily mistakes but rather reflections of television production practices during the era, where reuse of successful storytelling elements was common. Despite occasional repetition, audiences continued to embrace the emotional sincerity of the show, demonstrating that strong character-driven storytelling often mattered more than originality of plot structure in maintaining viewer engagement. Richard Bull and the veteran performers who grounded the series. Richard Bull, who portrayed Nels Oleson, brought a sense of stability and quiet humor to Little House on the Prairie. His character often served as the calm center of chaotic family dynamics involving Harriet and Nellie Oleson. Bull's performance stood out because of his extensive background in theater and film, which gave him a refined sense of timing and emotional restraint. Before joining the series, he had already built a long career across stage productions, television, and films such as The Andromeda Strain. His journey into acting began somewhat unexpectedly after a friend encouraged him to study at the Goodman Theater School, an experience that shaped his lifelong dedication to performance. His career was briefly interrupted by World War II, during which he served as a radio operator in the Army Air Corps. After returning, he resumed acting and eventually became a respected character actor known for reliability and depth. On Little House, Bull's portrayal of Nels added emotional realism to everyday shopkeeping life in Walnut Grove. His interactions with other characters provided balance between humor and heartfelt moments, helping ground the series in relatable human behavior and reinforcing the sense of a fully lived-in community. Emotional storylines, production risks, and iconic episode moments. Several of the show's most memorable episodes involved emotionally intense storylines and physically demanding filming conditions that pushed actors to their limits. One major example is the storyline in which Mary Ingalls loses her sight, a plot development that significantly altered the direction of the series. Melissa Sue Anderson delivered a powerful performance that earned critical recognition, including an Emmy nomination, but the role also imposed long-term limitations on her character's development. Another iconic storyline involved Nellie Olison's dramatic accident, in which she falls from a horse and later fakes paralysis. Filming this episode required dangerous physical stunts, including downhill wheelchair sequences that relied on safety ropes that did not always function as expected. In some takes, actors experienced genuine fear during action scenes due to unexpected technical issues. These moments contributed to the show's reputation for emotional intensity and realism, even when production risks were high. Additionally, many episodes featured child actors in physically demanding environments, which required careful coordination despite limited safety technology compared to modern standards. These behind-the-scenes challenges reveal how much effort and occasional risk went into producing scenes that appeared simple and natural on screen, contributing to the show's lasting impact and emotional authenticity. The emotional finale and the end of Walnut Grove's legacy. The conclusion of Little House on the Prairie remains one of the most dramatic endings in television history, largely due to the decision to destroy Walnut Grove in the final television films. Instead of allowing the town to fade away quietly, the storyline depicted residents choosing to demolish their own homes to prevent a wealthy landowner from taking control of their community. This explosive ending created a powerful emotional farewell for audiences who had followed the characters for years. Behind the scenes, however, practical considerations also influenced the decision. The production company needed to restore the filming location to its original condition after filming concluded, and dismantling sets was already required. Michael Landon proposed incorporating the destruction into the narrative itself, transforming a logistical necessity into a memorable storytelling moment. Explosions were carefully staged to destroy buildings while preserving key structures, such as the church, for narrative and visual continuity. The result was a dramatic and symbolic ending that represented both loss and closure. For viewers, watching Walnut Grove disappear felt like saying goodbye not only to a fictional town, but also to an entire era of television storytelling that had shaped their emotional connection to the Ingalls family for nearly a decade. Lasting legacy and why the series still holds viewer attention today. Decades after its final episode aired, Little House on the Prairie continues to attract new audiences and maintain strong emotional resonance with longtime fans. Its enduring appeal lies in its combination of heartfelt storytelling, moral lessons, and deeply human characters who face universal struggles such as loss, hope, and resilience. While modern viewers may notice production imperfections, including subtle bloopers, continuity errors, and reused storytelling elements, these details often enhance rather than diminish the show's charm. They serve as reminders that the series was created under demanding conditions, by real people balancing artistic ambition with practical limitations. The cast's real-life relationships, personal struggles, and behind-the-scenes challenges add further depth to the viewing experience, revealing layers of authenticity beneath the polished final product. Michael Landon's creative vision shaped the show into more than just a family drama, turning it into a reflection on morality, community, and emotional endurance. The performances of actors like Melissa Gilbert, Karen Grassel, Richard Bull, and others contributed to its timeless quality. Ultimately, the show remains significant not because it was perfect, but because it was human. Its imperfections, hidden stories, and subtle behind-the-scenes moments continue to invite viewers to look closer, rewatch episodes, and discover new details long after the original broadcast, ensuring its legacy remains alive across generations.